A secret visit to Syria over Memorial Day weekend by Senator John McCain. The senator meeting with leaders of the Free Syrian Army as Washington debates whether or not to arm the rebels. But is arming the rebels a good idea? Ben has the reality check you won't see anywhere else.
Well, this weekend, Senator John McCain became the highest-ranking U.S. official to visit Syria since that country's civil war broke out 2 years ago. These are some of the pictures of McCain's meeting with rebel leaders. During those meetings, members of the Free Syrian Army, the FSA, asked the United States to take the lead in supporting rebels in a, quote, more serious manner, specifically for heavy weapons, of no-fly zone, and airstrikes on the Syrian regime. McCain met with General Salim Idriss, the leader of the Supreme Military Council of the Free Syrian Army, and he spent a few hours in the country after entering through Turkey. Already, the U.S. estimates that as many as 70,000 Syrians have died during this war over the last 2 years. So the big question, should the United States intervene to a greater extent? If it does, would the United States be arming Al-Qaeda fighters? A question I asked President Obama last year.
Yeah. And yet there's some concern about the U.S. funding the Syrian opposition when there are a lot of reports that Al-Qaeda is kind of heading up that opposition. How do you justify the two?
Well, I share that concern, and so what we've done is to say we will provide non-lethal assistance to Syrian opposition leadership that are committed to a political transition, committed to an observance of human rights.
Now, according to the Associated Press, the U.S. has already committed to providing $510 million in humanitarian assistance to Syria and has already provided the Syrian rebels with some military equipment like body armor. Well, now there's growing pressure on the U.S. to do much more, while simultaneously also growing evidence of how much of the Syrian opposition are actually Al-Qaeda fighters. The Free Syrian Army isn't the only group fighting Syria's government. Many of the members of the FSA have been defecting to the largest opposition group, Al-Nusra Front. The problem here is that in December of 2012, the United States designated Al-Nusra as a terror organization. In April of 2013, the leader of the Islamic State of Iraq released an audio statement announcing Al-Nusra as its branch in Syria. If that concerns you, you're not alone. I talked with Ohio Congressman Brad Winstrip, who says that is his concern as well.
A lot of things that I know about what's going on in Syria are classified at this time, but you really have to take a close look at really who are your friends, what will this do to us in the long term. You know, we've had some lessons learned on that in the past.
So what this means for you is that just a month ago, the UK Guardian determined that the best financed, best equipped, and best motivated force taking on the Syrian government is not the Free Syrian Army, but Al-Nusra, and that the Free Syrian Army is losing fighters and capabilities to that organization. So for lawmakers like Senator John McCain, the question that must be answered, if the United States provides heavy weapons and airstrikes to rebel forces, how do lawmakers ensure that we are not handing Syria over to Al-Qaeda? The answer is that assurance does not exist. And that is Reality Check.
You can find the sources for the story on our website, fox19.com. And if you'd like to make your voice heard, head over to Ben's Facebook page. Just search Ben Swann.